Today, we are talking about a massive blind spot in the world of customer experience. If you're a director of user experience, a VP of operations, or a CX lead in a mid to large enterprise, you likely spend 90% of your time on the front stage. You're looking at the app interface, the website, the brand messaging, and the customer support scripts. But here's the reality for 2026. Your brand promise is no longer made in the marketing department. It's kept or broken in the warehouse, on the cargo ship, and in the last mile delivery van. Today, we're bridging the gap between service design and supply chain logistics. We will talk about why efficiency isn't just a cost saving metric, it's a customer retention strategy. We'll look at why transparency is the ultimate cure for customer anxiety and how companies like McMaster-Carr and Hilti are using boring logistics to build unshakable customer loyalty. Let's dive in. Most organizations treat supply chain as a backstage function. It's a cost center. The goal is usually how do we make it cheaper? But from a service design perspective, the supply chain is the execution phase of the customer journey. When a customer clicks buy or signs a contract, they enter a period of high anxiety. Will it arrive? Will it be right? When will I get it? In service design, we talk about information symmetry. When the company knows where the product is, but the customer doesn't, you create friction. Think about the Amazon effect. People don't just shop at Amazon because it's cheap. They shop there because the logistics are predictable. Predictability is a psychological balm. Here's the challenge for leaders. If your logistics team is measured solely on cost per unit, they'll inevitably make decisions that hurt the customer experience. They'll choose the slower shipping lane to save $2, unaware that the resulting 3-day delay is costing you $2,000 in customer lifetime value. We need to stop viewing logistics as a utility and start viewing it as a touch point. Let's look at a company that isn't flashy, like Apple, but is a masterclass in this, McMaster-Carr. If you aren't in industrial maintenance, repair, and operations business, you might not know them. They sell 500,000 different mechanical parts. Their website looks like it's from 1998, but it is a miracle of service design. Why? Because they understand their customer's primary pain point, downtime. If a factory manager needs a specific $10 stainless steel flange to fix a machine that's costing them $5,000 an hour in lost production, they don't care about delightful unboxing experience. They care about velocity and reliability. McMaster-Carr's supply chain is designed for in-stock status. They carry massive inventory, which traditional lean managers would call inefficient, but for McMaster, that inventory is the service proposition. Here's the lesson for managers. Efficiency doesn't always mean least amount of stuff. It means the most effective flow to solve the customer's problem. By aligning their warehouse logic with their customer's urgency, they've made price secondary. They are the emergency room of industrial supply. Now let's talk about Hilti. They make power tools for construction. For decades, they sold drills, but they realized that for a large construction firm, owning a drill is actually a logistical nightmare. You have to track it, repair it, and replace it when it's stolen. So Hilti used their supply chain to pivot to tool as a service. Under their fleet management model, you don't buy the tool, you subscribe to it. If a tool breaks on a job site in downtown Chicago, Hilti's logistics engine kicks in. They pick up the broken tool and drop off a loaner immediately. This is Service Design 101. Remove the burden. Hilti didn't win by making a prettier drill. They won by building a reverse logistics network that ensured their customers never had a down day. Here's a lesson for managers. Ask yourself what burden of ownership is your customer carrying that you could solve through a better logistics process. Could your supply chain be the service for these customers? If you're sitting in a leadership meeting next week, how do you actually apply this? I want to give you 3 principles to bridge supply chain and customer experience. First is radical transparency. Don't just hide the process, expose it, like how Domino's does it for the pizza tracker. If there's a delay in the supply chain, tell the customer before they ask. Use your logistics data to feed your CX dashboard. Transparency builds more trust than perfection ever will. Second, streamlining for cognitive load. Look at your handoffs. In case of Maersk, they realized customers hated dealing with 5 different vendors for one shipment. They integrated it. Look at your journey map. Where does the logistics team hand off to customer service? If there's a gap there, the customer feels it. Streamline the information, not just the boxes. And here's a challenging idea, the third one. Efficiency as a time to value metric. Stop measuring supply chain only in dollars. Start measuring it in time to value. How long from the moment the customer feels a need until that need is satisfied? If you can cut that time in half through a logistics tweak, you've just designed a better service. To wrap up, the next time you're looking at your CX strategy, don't just look at the pixels on the screen. Go down to the loading dock. Talk to your logistics lead. Ask them, how can our delivery process make our customers feel more secure? When service designers and supply chain operators start talking to each other, you stop being a company that just ships products and start being a company that delivers outcomes. And in a world where everyone is fighting over the same digital real time, the physical world, the world of trucks, ships, and warehouses, is your greatest untapped competitive advantage set.
Thanks for listening to my podcast. If you found this insightful, please subscribe, share, and check out my recent article on this topic on LinkedIn. As always, feel free to get in touch with me with comments, suggestions, and ideas. I'm Hitesh, and I'll see you next time.